Okay, and how this is going to work is we have 10 questions, 6 or 8 for each specific party, and then 2 for them to each answer, and then we have 4 student questions who were submitted online at Eagle News. I'm going to give you guys both a minute first to introduce each party, and then we'll start the debate. And you guys have 2 minutes to answer. Right now, you just have a minute to introduce yourselves, and then when it comes to answering, you guys have 2 minutes each, and we'll cut you off. So, Action, you guys can start first.
Hey everybody, I'm Peter Cuderman. I'm running to be your student body president under the Action Party. We believe we have what it takes because we know how to get things done, and that's the main point of getting student government funding to our students and having value actually be added to the students' life.
Hello everyone, I'm Luis Vargas, running under the Action Party to be your student body vice president. We are here to take action and have results now, not in the future.
Hello, my name is Kolve Byrd. I am running for student body president with Revolution. Thank you. We're running on this party because we believe that we want to put students back in student government. We all know that there's complacency. We all know that the system is broken. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase our advocacy measures. We're going to increase transparency. And you know what? We're going to be original. We're going to put students back in the driver's seat, and we have the right team to do it. So we're going to appreciate your support in this coming election.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Forbes. I run for student body vice president under the Revolution Party. What we bring to the table, we have a very diverse platform. We have different people from RSOs, clubs, athletic department, all of that. We all have the ability and the know-how to get everything done we need in student government, and we know exactly how to do it. We have a plan from very day one, what we're going to do in that office, and day 2, and we have it already planned out, and we're ready to go.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to get started with the questions. You guys, it's going to switch back and forth, so Action will answer first one time, Revolution will answer, or I lied. This is just party-specific questions first, sorry. Okay, thank you.
The first question is for the Action Party. Your platform states, quote, restore respect and faith in your student government. Where has student government gone wrong that you would need to restore respect and faith?
Student government, the biggest problem with student government is not Lauren or Justin or certain people. Lauren and Justin did an amazing job with what they had to work with. There's other people running for higher office that were a part of some of the stuff that Lauren and Justin could not get done. And what we need to do is be able to fill the void being that we need to make sure that the students are getting what they want, and the things that we're putting on these cards are not just stuff that isn't going to happen, it's stuff that we're going to get done with the funding that comes from the students.
Thank you. This question is for the Revolution Party. Your platform has ideas that require manpower, such as holding roundtable discussions, publishing a, quote, Eye on Your Government newsletter, live stream Senate meetings. These things will no doubt require a consistent time commitment. Who will be making these commitments?
Thank you. Well, first of all, the reason we put these items on our platform is because if there's one thing that's been made clear over the course of the last year, it's that students want a greater voice. So that's what we're going to give them. We're going to give them the opportunity to participate in roundtable discussions with their RSO leaders. And it's going to be facilitated by myself and Jeremy Forbes as vice president. Because student input is a top priority for our incoming administration, so they need to be speaking directly to us. They're not going to be speaking to a middleman. That's why we've done this. We've decided to create student action committees because we want students that normally wouldn't come to Senate meetings, they normally wouldn't come to executive meetings. We want them to have a direct influence in their academic experience. And we're going to be taking their feedback directly to the deans, directly to the vice presidents, directly to the president, because we want their voices to be heard. We're going to be focusing on advocacy this year. Enough with the big spending, enough with the wasteful spending. Let's actually get some results and get back to basics. The basics of this organization is to be the advocate for students and to be in students' corner, not against them.
This question is for the Action Party. Your platform hits on 3 popular issues to students: late night food, football, and a campus bar. Is concrete planning for these initiatives feasible by the end of the next student government term?
In order to create a concrete plan to do these things, the first thing we have to do is get the students really talking about it, the administration talking about it, faculty and staff, and us as their representatives getting the ideas that the students actually want out is the most important thing. The initiatives that you just mentioned are a huge part of what we have on our platform. With that being said, we want to make sure that those are what the students want at the end of the day. If elected, what we're going to do is we're going to do a feasibility study on the fiscal responsibility. And if 2 of the 3 can be completed, that's what we're going to do. We're going to work towards getting these things done and what the students want.
Thank you. The next question is for the Revolution Party. Your platform says, quote, eliminate wasteful spending and promote student-centered financial decisions. What do you consider wasteful spending?
Something that comes to mind right off the bat with wasteful spending is student government's programming events that cater free food when no one shows up to. I think that our organizations on campus, they need funding to host their own events, to make sure that they can grow, to make sure that they're functioning properly. I don't think it's appropriate that student government fund itself for activities that it's not even utilizing. Not to mention the fact that in our finance code, there are a lot of ambiguities and confusions regarding the budget process, and we want to clear that up. It's not our job to tell you how to spend your money, but it's our job instead to make it easier to spend that money in a responsible manner. And first and foremost, Jeremy, myself, and Rosa Mendoza are our candidate for student body treasurer. The thing that we understand is that it's your money, not ours. So we're going to do everything in our power to facilitate that process.
This question is for the Action Party. Richard served as the SG Appropriations Chair this year. Your platform says, quote, continue supporting sports clubs and teams and attaining national attention and achievements. Sports clubs took a budget cut of more than $100,000 this year. Richard had a role in that cut. Where is the support?
Richard was not the only person sitting in that committee. He did not have a voting privilege in this part. There are current members in student government who are currently running an opposing party that were part of that committee as well. There's nothing we can do now to change the allocation for the next fiscal year that already happened. So what we can do now is to provide clubs and organizations with the accurate, perfect information that they will need in order to allocate their money properly and do what's best for them.
Thank you. This is for the Revolution Party. Specifically, what are you seeking to simplify the A&S budget process? Please use extreme detail.
Well, I think something that needs to be improved upon is the annual budget process itself and the allocation process. This past year there were guidelines put in place and certain restrictions, but what I found and what Jeremy found through meeting with RSOs and various members of administration is that those guidelines were not communicated appropriately. So what we're going to do is include in the finance code certain provisions that say by a certain date, RSOs need to be made aware of what they can and cannot request and in what amounts. I'm not going to say specifically what exactly that agreement is going to look like, because myself, as student body president, I know that there are a host of stakeholders involved in this process, from students to organizations to campus rec to sports clubs. What we want to do in our vision for student government funding is that at the end of the day, organizations like, let's take the Sports Club Council, for example, they operate in a more autonomous fashion. They're able to be allocated a set portion of money and then divvy that out themselves. What we want to do is help them in the process of becoming a recognized entity so that legally student government can do that. We don't want student government to be micromanaging. Like I said before, it is your money. So let's put the power back in the students' hands through these processes in our legal documents.
This question is for the Action Party. Your platform states, quote, launch a student-led website with job opportunities, events, involvement, and school information. In 2009, student government spent $14,450 to create the current student government website. The current website is advertising events that happened in January and quotes students who are no longer students. Who will maintain your proposed website? And why is there a need for this, considering student government already has an A&S funded website?
We trust the current administration can complete what has been promised in the past. But if elected, I believe that we're going to have to do what we can, and we're going to utilize outsource resources and to use to subsidize the cost of this website, since we already have spent $14,000. And I believe that it's not fair to the students to use $14,000 in a website that is not even updated it's not up to date currently. This website will be maintained, but by someone in our executive cabinet who will be a student. Like it says on our platform, we're going to have job opportunities, events, and all that, which is something that is required and a necessity for the students to be aware of. I mean, everyone needs to be informed, and if you already have a website, why not utilize it in the proper way?
Thank you. The next question's for the Revolution Party. Your platform says that you would like to, quote, revamp and retool the student website. Are you considering pumping more money into the current SG website?
Actually, no. What we're planning on doing is the website is already there. Everyone already knows what website is, and some people who know that it is, it's good. But the problem is it's not marketable. No one knows about the website. So what our plan is to market the website better. We actually have a director of marketing there for marketing, for stuff like that, for anything that's student government related. They've done everything else like programming board and stuff like that, but they haven't really done the website. And what we're trying to do with that comes with transparency, where we're going to be giving live feeds of Senate meetings, and we're going to make an Iron Your Government article in the newspaper, where you'll be able to see in the newspaper weekly what we're doing each week in student government with the money that you allocated, that you gave to us, and we're using your money wisely. And that where it all brings it back to marketing. So everyone knows what the site is and where to go to see how we're spending your money wisely.
Just follow up on that. The student government website is a prime example of wasteful spending. We are not going to be pumping any more money into something that just isn't working. What we're going to do is work with the resources that we have. As Jeremy said, we have people in-house already in student government that work on these things. You know what we're going to do? We're going to transfer the responsibilities to our director of public relations. And that's going to be their chief tool to communicate. Because our website, if we've already spent this much money, we need to be getting results out of it. So let's work with the resources we have before we start thinking about spending another $15,000 on a dysfunctional website.
We are now going to enter the questions for both parties. Action, please answer this first. What is the biggest weakness in your own platform?
The biggest weakness in our platform is definitely the campus bar and grill. I think one of the reasons it is being our greatest weakness is because people don't understand what we're trying to achieve with that weakness. What we're trying to achieve with the campus bar and grill is not to create a campus bar and grill. It is to establish a feasibility plan where students can go and see why there was a campus bar and grill, why it closed, what we can do in the future to reopen one. A couple of the big reasons that was closed was because students are not 21, and how often are faculty going to want to go and drink with undergraduate or graduate students? They're not. So there was not enough room. Obviously, Einstein's has about like 20 tables. Without more tables, the grill is going to have to be the main focus of that bar. So I want to be able to create a book, where not a binder full of pages, where someone can come and know exactly what happened when they hear, oh, we used to have a campus bar and grill. And then in the future, if that's something the students want, then we advocate for that.
Revolution, go ahead.
I think the biggest weakness in our platform is that we weren't able to include every concern that we heard from students. I think that it's kind of a limited platform, but it's very concentrated. So what I would do is definitely, I would work harder, I think, to include more student concerns, more issues, because myself, Jeremy, we've heard a lot of things that can be improved. So what we would work for in the future, I think, would be to make sure that every single constituent's concern is heard on our platform card.
What is the biggest weakness in your opponent's platform?
Feasibility, without a doubt. Myself, Rosa, and Jeremy, we have had numerous meetings with administration, with students, with student organizations. The reason why our platform is focused on advocacy is because we know some of these big ticket items just aren't going to work. I can't tell you one single instance where I heard students complaining that they needed a car wash built for them by student government. I just can't. This is another capital improvement project that A&S funds just shouldn't be going towards.
Action, go ahead.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. What is the biggest weakness in your opponent's platform?
The biggest weakness in our opponent's platform, well, first of all, I'd like to say, Kolve, thank you for your leadership, and I honestly value your humble opinion, but feasibility, we've talked to administration about every single one of these. If you read it, you have to interpret it the way it says it on the card. If you're looking at it and trying to break it down and say, these guys are going to create a football stadium, no, we're not. What we're going to do is we're going to begin fundraising and making people aware of what we want to do. Things like that on our platform card need to be read the way it's written. With that being said, I think that the Revolution Party, when they said they want to launch a student action committee, it really doesn't make sense to me, because while Lauren and Justin and a lot of other members in student government did a great job this last year, there was some leadership problems, and those leadership problems caused over 15 open seats in student government senate at one point under the leadership of someone in their organization.
Thank you. We're going to be moving into questions submitted by students on the Eagle News websites. These questions do not reflect the research of Eagle News. These questions will be read exactly as they're submitted, and you guys have 2 minutes to answer them.
The first question is for the Action Party. It was submitted by Ingrid Joan, a senior majoring in the College of Professional Studies. What does fiscal responsibility mean to you?
Fiscal responsibility is making sure that funds are being used in the proper way. Our students are giving $11.24 directly to student government out of every credit that they take. This needs to be going towards the initiatives that we're putting on these platform cards if elected. In the past, they've worked on doing these, but everybody in an organization, such as student government, every branch needs to work together to make sure that these happen. You can't have one branch doing it alone. If you have all 3 branches working together in a fashionable manner and a timely manner, you're going to get things done, and the things that you want on your initiative card that you're handing out to people and you're promising people need to be done.
Thank you. The next question is for Action. It was also submitted by Ingrid Joan, a senior in the College of Professional Studies. Records show that the candidate for vice president position, Luis Vargas, was previously in Senate, however, was pointed out. Why should the student body vote for someone who couldn't make the time commitment as a senator to be vice president of the FGCU student body?
I recognize that I was opted out of Senate. I actually resigned before I was opted out. It was actually given to me the opportunity, whether you opt out or you resign, or you are going to be brought up in front of Senate to be impeached. The reason why this happened was because of miscommunication when I tried to send my excuses, which they were. I have records of emails that state why my absence was happening. And I believe that the reason why I also left Senate, and it was my personal decision, was because of I wasn't enjoying the leadership brought in front of me. I didn't feel like I didn't have any support, especially from the main head of the Senate, Student Senate. I felt like I had a different experience within campus organizations, but I tried to do my best to fit in with Senate and do my best, but that's just what had to come to happen, and that's why I resigned.
The next question is for both parties. Revolution, please answer first. Glenn Matthew, a junior in the College of Professional Studies, asks, how do you plan to work with the Resident Housing Association and their leadership's plans for improving student life without, quote, stepping on any toes?
To answer Glenn's question, we actually have a plan in our reorganization outline to include the president of the Resident Housing Association as an ex officio member of the executive cabinet, because we think that's a valuable voice that's not being heard right now. And we value his opinion. We value the countless thousands of students that live on our campus. And right now they don't have a representative in Senate. They don't have a representative on executive. So we're going to give that to them. This is all about advocacy, and that's what we want to do.
Can you repeat the question again?
They weren't finished.
No, it wasn't finished.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. And just kind of go off of that, right now in resident housing, there's actually a resident housing council, like if you live in Northlake. There's actually different sectors in Northlake where they are little councils where there's presidents and vice presidents that speak for something that the residents already want to see in Northlake. So we're going to bring those people and just bring them to the little roundtable discussion that we plan on having with all the RHAs and stuff like that. So they're already in place, just that we're going to make it more broad and include them in it on top of actually having executive people in it.
I think the first thing is to actually outreach to organizations, especially RHA. Organizations that need funding, that need advice, that need help, need direction, aren't getting that necessarily, partially due to the fact that we don't have enough senators going towards those organizations. Each person has to represent their respective college and go out of their way to help organizations. With that being said, RHA in specificity, I really believe that having our late night Taco Bell and Pizza Hut in Northlake in the Eagles Landing would be extremely beneficial to the students. That's something that can help them directly. That's something that we don't have students going off campus if they're drinking. They go eat there instead of going to a 24-hour McDonald's. If someone's out, they come right back to the campus. As far as RHA goes, we need to work directly with them and make sure that everything is happening in an organization that is right for the students, and that includes housing.
The next question is actually our last question as well. It's for action from Nicholas Peters, the senior in the College of Health Professions, or excuse me, Professional Studies. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. Asked, this year there was huge budget cuts to sports clubs. How will you be able to allocate money better next year in order to provide things they are promising, such as give each student $250, fund promotional nights, and supply free green books?
The funding that student government has comes from the students. There's other ways that funding can happen. Fundraisers can happen, and two of the biggest problems I see with current funding of where some of the student government money is going is to the university readership program and the university's campus recreation. And those are two huge areas for the students. Faculty are taking advantage of these. They're allowed to walk in, take our newspapers. They're also allowed to walk into the gym at no cost. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with that. What I am saying is if we need extra money to do certain things, we should begin to look into potentially charging a small minimal fee to the faculty or asking the university to match the readership program cost as well as the campus recreation that the student government uses.
Thank you. And we are now going to allow 1 minute for you guys to kind of a closing statement kind of thing. No student questions. You had a chance to submit them online. Thank you. Revolution, you guys will start, and then action, you can finish up.
All right, just to go on a closing, I'll just let all of you know that we are here for a reason. We're here to, I know it's kind of redundant, but we're here to revolutionize what's been going on campus. All of us on our platform are here for a reason. We're all leaders of organizations, sport clubs. We're all involved in different organizations. I'm involved. Obviously, me and Kolve are both involved in our own Greek organizations, but I'm also involved in the athletic department, intramurals. We've all been there. We're students just like you guys, and we're here to support you guys. We're here to support you guys, and we're here to hear your voice. We've been there. We've been in Senate. We've been in outreach committees trying to get your voice, and everything on our platform is stuff that you all wanted, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to speak for you guys and spend your money the way you want it to be spent.
And just to follow up on that, I'm running for student body president because we have the energy to make things happen. We don't need on-the-job training. We're ready for day one. We want to make sure student government is on the side of
10
students.
seconds.
We have originality, not the same issues recycled over and over again. We have practicality, and we have realism. So we'd support your vote next week in the elections.
That's your
and
time.
vote revolution.
That's your time. Thank you.
I believe that the Action Party has a diverse leadership within the campus, and I believe that we're going to continue our mission, which is to continue being student leaders and never forget that we're here for the students. We have ambitious initiatives. We have initiatives that can be completed in the future, but in order to make that happen, we have to act now to see results for the near future.
And just to touch on that, we are not like students, we are the students. We're not guys that are in this imaginary room on the second floor of the Student Union Cohen Center. We are students that are here for you, that are going to come out on campus every day, and we're going to support you guys and take action.
Thank you. That's all the questions that we have and that were submitted online and that Eagle News came up with. Don't forget to go out and vote. Voting starts next Tuesday. The polls are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on Thursday they're open at 9 to 5. It's going to be up in the Cohen Center in 247, up by where the old SG offices used to be. So there'll be plenty of signage. You'll know. Make sure you have either your Eagle ID or your driver's license so that we can check you are a real person. And you will be getting the get out of jail free card as every year. Thank you.